Hare Rama, Hare Krishna and Pranam dear devotees.
Hare Krishna and Pranam dear devotees. So, welcome to Sunday evening Bhagavad-Gita sessions. So, we very heartily welcome you all. And so, we will quickly have a recap of what we did in our last session. Last session was our first session when we started our Bhagavad-Gita reading. And in our last session, we understood the history of Bhagavad Gita and how it the history of Mahabharata and how it led to the situation of a war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, and that was the only resort which was left. And and why do we really need Bhagavad Gita as it is? Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad, and it is the essence of all the Vedas. Plus, we can found many other things which could not be found in the Vedas as well.
Yes.
So this is the uh, this is the importance of Bhagavad Gita.
And it is a song sung by Krishna himself.
Yes, and we also read about the parampara system and how this knowledge has to be received by a bona fide Guru Parampara system, which is authorized by the Vedas. And and why this Bhagavad Gita is called Bhagavad Gita as it is, and what is the importance of keeping it as it is and not adulterating, which is the central point of the whole theme. And we read the preface and setting the scene. And today we will start from the introduction part. And we also read that there were three basic principles to our life that that all of us should understand, that they should know that who are we and who is God and what is our relationship with God. So this is the three basic principles of our life. And we also understood the perfection. The definition of the perfection of life is to render the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that makes our life perfect, and which is our constitutional position as well. So today we will continue with our reading of Bhagavad Gita, and we will start reading from the introduction part. So before we do that, we will do the Mangalacharan. We'll share the screen, and I would request that Anupama Mataji, can you read the English translation? So I will read. I will be reading the Sanskrit, and beneath that there will be English. So will you be able to read the English?
Hare Krishna.
Actually, I'm going somewhere. I'm
Okay.
in the middle of way, so I'm listening just. Okay.
Okay,
So today I won't be able to read. From next time I'll be reading.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So maybe Rajdev Prabhu, you can
Okay.
help us in
Okay.
reading the translation. Hare Krishna, Rajdev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes.
Yes. So I will be reading
I will
the
read Prabhuji.
Mangalacharan, and you can follow me with the translation. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we'll start. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam.
When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who was established within this material world, the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet?
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitancha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rup Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatan Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatt, Gopal Bhatt and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityanand, along with Advait Acharya Gadadhar, Srivas and other associates.
Yes.
I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishakha.
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute.
O my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye.
I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vishbhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna.
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnav devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desired trees. and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas, and all others in the line of devotion.
So now all of us can unmute and repeat the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we will continue reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is. So this is the start of the introduction part, and in the introduction also Srila Prabhupada starts it with the Mangalacharan only. So this is the Mangalacharan that we have done, and the introduction starts from Mangalacharan only, and we are going to read from here after the Mangalacharan. So is the screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Bhagavad-Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. It is the essence of Vedic knowledge and one of the most important Upanishads in Vedic literature. Of course, there are many commentaries in English on the Bhagavad-Gita, and one may question the necessity for another one. This present edition can be explained in the following way. Recently, an American lady asked me to recommend an English translation of Bhagavad-Gita. Of course, in America, there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita available in English. But as far as I have seen, not only in America, but also in India, none of them can be strictly said to be authoritative because in almost every one of them, the commentators has expressed his own opinions without touching the spirit of Bhagavad Gita as it is.
So here Prabhupada is stating why he wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is.
The spirit of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita itself. It is just like this. If we want to take a particular medicine, then we have to follow the directions written on the label. We cannot take the medicine according to our own whim or the directions of a friend. It must be taken according to the directions on the label of the direction given by a physician. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita should be taken or accepted as it is directed by the speaker himself. The speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Shri Krishna. He is mentioned on every page of Bhagavad Gita as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. Of course, the Bhagavan sometimes refers to any powerful person or any powerful demigod, and certainly here Bhagavan designates Lord Shri Krishna as a great personality, but at the same time we should know that Lord Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as is confirmed by all great acharyas, spiritual masters like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbark Swami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many other authorities of Vedic knowledge. So here what Prabhupada is quoting is that is quoting other acharyas, that other acharyas also believe or also know that Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we can understand it from various other references from like Brahma Samhita and Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. And in Srimad Bhagavatam also, that we come to know and understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ete cha kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. That Krishna is Bhagwan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself declares that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That all others are his part and parcel. Mame Vanshu Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana, and he is the Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that Krishna declares in many places in Bhagavad Gita. It is we can understand it like asking, like suppose I visit an office of a multinational company, and I'm looking for a CEO. And I entered the guard, and I asked the reception, I want to meet the CEO, and the reception sends me inside, and I asked some employees that who is the CEO, and let's suppose some employee says I am the CEO. So that will be a wrong answer, because the CEO is somebody else. But if I directly go and meet the CEO, and the CEO himself is coming to me and saying, boss, I am the CEO, so then there will be no confusion. So in that way, Krishna uh, gives us the direct answer that who he is in Bhagavad Gita. Like when we come to understand chapter 8, chapter 9, and chapter 10, he gives us various answers that who he is, and what is our relationship with him, and we are the part and parcel, and we are supposed to serve him, and in that way.
Yes, and Prabhupada also stating here is कि जैसे एक बहुत ही सुंदर एग्जांपल ले रहे हैं कि जैसे हम मेडिसिन लेते हैं तो हम मेडिसिन कैसे लेते हैं, हम अपने मनोभाव से मेडिसिन नहीं लेते हैं कि हाँ जब हमारा मन करेगा तब लेंगे, जब नहीं करेंगे तो नहीं लेंगे। तो मेडिसिन ली जाती है प्रॉपर इंस्ट्रक्शंस के साथ, और जो कि उसके लेवल पे होती है, या फिर फिजिशियन हमें जो इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है। तो ऐसे ही भगवत गीता को अंडरस्टैंड करा जा सकता है उनके स्पीकर के इंस्ट्रक्शन के अकॉर्डिंग, कि क्योंकि स्पीकर जो कि श्री भगवान खुद है वो क्या बोल रहे हैं।
And the way to understand Bhagavad Gita, like we read this in our last session as well, that it is given inside Bhagavad Gita only. In chapter 4, verse 34, we understand and we read that to approach this knowledge, there are the three ways are tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. That we can understand this knowledge from those who have already realized by pranipatena, by humbly submissing ourselves to them, and परिप्रश्नेन
उनसे प्रश्न करके अपने प्रश्नों का उत्तर जानने के लिए उनसे प्रश्न करके।
Not that we have to do any kind of blind faith. Like blind faith is discouraged, but we have to take some leap of faith, and that would be reasonable faith. That okay, I'm taking a leap of faith, and let me first hear it out what exactly this whole thing is, and if there would be questions, then I would be asking.
Yes.
So like that, and then sevaya, that we have to serve those personalities, those
surrendered souls जिनको खुद से realization है, so only the realized person can impart that knowledge into you.
Because these scriptures, these are called revealed scriptures. It is not something about knowledge and gyan, because the gyan path and karam kand path or the karam yog path is different than bhakti yog.
Yes. जैसे कि हमने पिछले सेशन में भी प्रभु जी ने, आई थिंक अभिजीत प्रभु जी ने पूछा था कि why it is different, so that is why it is called revealed scriptures, कि जैसे जैसे हम पढ़ते जाते हैं ये थोड़ी थोड़ी देर बाद अपने आप रिवील करते हैं अपने आप।
Correct. So like as we take to the process of Krishna consciousness, like the end, and what is the process, that we start the chanting of Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. We associate with devotees, and we follow the rules and regulations, the four regulative principles which have been given to us by our acharyas, and in that way, in regulative devotional service, we will come to understand.
Yes.
Because as soon as we start chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is also service only.
Yes. And उससे there is चेतो दर्पण मार्जन, कि जो हमारी सोल पे कंडीशनिंग है वो धीरे धीरे क्लियर होती है, and everything will start becoming visible.
And here Prabhupada is telling us about the spirit of Bhagavad Gita, and the central point of Bhagavad Gita is that it is spoken by Lord Shri Krishna. We first have to acknowledge that he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he is the supreme, he is Bhagwan, and otherwise why would we even read the Bhagavad Gita, right? Because if we don't understand, if we don't recognize the supreme personality of Godhead, like for example, you want to take admission in an IIT, right? But if and how do you come to know that institution is an Indian Institute of Technology, an IIT? There must be some recognition, right? Only then you would be able to understand the board is recognized and everything is there. Otherwise, no other college can be called as an IIT because it is not recognized by the Indian Institute of Technology board. So in that way, this is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita because it has been spoken by Lord Shri Krishna. And what makes this edition or this book authentic, because on every page it has been mentioned that the Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the emphasis has been given according to what the Lord wanted to say, not the way but by which the author wants to say, not the way by which the author wants to convey. Like Prabhupada is also writing here that in other editions the author sets aside the spirit of the Lord, and they come with their own whims and their own speculations. Okay, this would mean this, and when Lord is referring to ki man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshyasi yuktevam atmana mat parayana, that offer obeisances unto me. And here the me is not the Lord Shri Krishna, but to the internal spirit or the internal spirit of the Lord. So it is not like that. So we have to take it as it is. So this is the way by which we can approach this Mahan Granth and this scripture, and with the right spirit and of course the right attitude. The attitude should be, I want to understand. The attitude should be, I am submissive. I want to in a humble manner. If there would be any questions, I'm going to ask it. So in that manner, not that in the first line only I want to refute the speaker and I want to refute the what has been written. I don't want to understand like that. So in that way, we cannot even understand the very basics of any material science as well. Like for example, you want to understand engineering. So that means you are entering into classroom and you are going to have a leap of faith on the professor, the way by which they are going to understand, because you don't know ABC of all the subjects that you're going to be taught there, right? But then you take a leap of faith and you have faith that whatever has been taught is recognized by this bona fide institution, is recognized by the curriculum, by the syllabus, and that is why I'm here, and and this will carry value in my future life, and that makes whole lot of sense, right? So in the same manner, why this should not be applied to spiritual science as well? Why this should not be applied to spiritual education as well? So this is the same way by which we have to take this spirit or this attitude, that we first have to become submissive and understand and give time to hear the other person out, that what are they saying. So like that. So we will continue. The Lord himself also establishes himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Bhagavad-Gita, and he is accepted as such in the Brahma Samhita and all the Puranas, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam, known as Bhagavad Puran, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. ये वही है जिस जो अभी हमने कोट किया था, एते च कला पुंसा Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Therefore, we should take Bhagavad Gita as it is directed by the Personality of Godhead himself. In the fourth chapter of Gita 4.1 to 4.3, the Lord says, Imam vivashvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivashvan manave praha manur ikshwake abravit evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo vidu sa kalene ha mahata yoga nashta parantapa sa eva yamayatedya yoga prokta puratana bhakto sime sakha cheti rahasyam hi etat uttamam.
Here the Lord informs Arjun that this system of yoga, the Bhagavad Gita, was first spoken to the Sun God, and the Sun God explained it to Manu, and Manu explained to Ikshvaku. And in that way, by disciplic succession, one speaker after the another, this yoga system has been coming down. But in the course of time, it has become lost. Consequently, the Lord has to speak it again, and this time to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. तो इसमें भगवान स्वयं बताते हैं कि ये भगवत गीता अभी की नहीं है. It is
age old thing,
age old, and it is coming from the starting of this earth. So वो क्या बताते हैं कि सबसे पहले उन्होंने ये ज्ञान सूर्य देव को दिया जिनका नाम इक्ष्वाकु है, एंड देन सूर्य देव ने मनु को वो ज्ञान दिया, एंड मनु ने देन इक्ष्वाकु को ज्ञान दिया. सो सॉरी, विवस्वान इज द नेम ऑफ सूर्यदेव. विवस्वान ने मनु को, मनु ने इक्ष्वाकु को, एंड ऐसे ही परंपरा गुरु शिष्य की परंपरा से वो आगे आते गए. बट क्योंकि बहुत टाइम हो चुका है एंड इट हैज बिकम लॉस्ट नाउ, सो भगवान इज एस्टैब्लिशिंग दैट परंपरा अगेन फ्रॉम अर्जुन. सो दैट इज द परंपरा व्हिच इज कमिंग डाउन राइट नाउ. So he tells Arjun that he is relating the supreme secret to him because Arjun is his devotee and his friend.
exactly.
भगवान कह रहे हैं कि क्यों मैं तुम्हें ही सिर्फ बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि एक तो वो उनके भक्त हैं और उनके सखा हैं.
ये देखिए, ये लाइन है, भक्तों सी में सखा चेती. इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है
इम्पोर्टेंट
अंडरस्टैंड करना, बिकॉज इसी भगवत गीता की जो संस्कृत है, इट इज वेरी मच क्लोज टू अवर नॉर्मल हिंदी, एंड वी कैन संधि विच्छेद करके वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज मीनिंग. भक्तों सी में सखा चेती रहस्यम ही एतत् उत्तमम. कि that hey Arjun, I am telling this to you, this is the secret that I am revealing, that rahasyam means this is the secret, right? And bhakto si mein sakha cheti, that because you are my friend and my devotee, and that is why I'm telling this to you.
Yes.
It is not for everybody. It is not that it is a subject matter of discussion that there are few intellectuals and few speculators come together and they read Bhagavad-Gita, they understand Bhagavad-Gita, and oh, this is very nice, this is the knowledge that I've got, this is very nice. No, it is not for speculation, it is not for intellectualism. It is actually for change of heart, because Bhagavad Gita is supposed to transform us, and it actually transforms us. And we can I can give at least my example to all of you with conviction and with faith, that it has completely transformed me, the way I was before entering to Krishna consciousness, and the way I am, the whole thing, the habits and the association, lots of things. It has become a like a 180-degree turnaround thing, and definitely life is much better after coming to Krishna consciousness. First, because we understand what is the goal of life and what is the purpose that I am here, and it gives meaning to life, and which is very high, which is a higher meaning. Param drishtva nivartate.
एंड आप सब भी इसको रियलाइज कर रहे होंगे कि जब आप भक्तों के संग में आते हैं, जब आप भगवान की तरफ एक कदम बढ़ाते हैं, तो लाइफ कंप्लीटली चेंज हो जाती है, एंड यू विल स्टार्ट फीलिंग सम हैप्पीनेस फ्रॉम इनसाइड, एंड डेफिनेटली चेंज अ लॉट. एंड इसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट भगवान बता रहे हैं कि क्योंकि वो उनके भक्त हैं, और दिस इज very important कि भगवत गीता को समझने के लिए one has to have a faith on Krishna, like he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this conviction is very important to understand the Bhagavad Gita.
Actually, Krishna consciousness is called a journey of faith.
Yes.
The how much faith do we carry in our heart, and whether we have some change or transformation of heart or not, yes, whether our heart has become soft or not, and the starting of it happens by when we take to the shelter of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare. So when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because this has been given to us by none other than Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they came to this world around 500 years ago, and they established this Krishna consciousness. And again, they told us that in this age of Kali, the only way to progress and the only way to realize, to have this spiritual realization, and जिसको हम आत्मसाक्षात्कार भी बोलते हैं, is by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra only. So like that. And so with that conviction, then we should take to this process of Krishna consciousness. आगे बढ़ते हैं. He tells Arjun that he is relating this supreme secret to him because Arjun is his devotee and his friend. The purport of this is that Bhagavad-Gita is a treatise which is especially meant for devotee of the Lord. There are three classes of transcendentalists, namely the Jnani, the Yogi, and the Bhakta, or the impersonalist, the meditator, and the devotee. Here the Lord clearly tells Arjun that he is making him the first receiver of the new parampara, disciplic succession, because the old succession was broken. It was the Lord's wish, therefore, to establish another parampara in the same line of thought that was coming down from the sun god to others. And it was his wish that his teachings be distributed anew by Arjun. He wanted Arjun to become the authority in understanding the Bhagavad-Gita. So we see that Bhagavad-Gita is instructed to Arjun, especially because Arjun was a devotee of the Lord, a direct student of Krishna and his intimate friend. Therefore, Bhagavad-Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjun. This is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship with the Lord. As soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he also has a direct relationship with the Lord.
So इसमें बता रहे हैं कि जैसे सबसे पहला इम्पोर्टेंट कि भगवत गीता को समझने के लिए one has to become a devotee of Lord. तो वो बताते हैं कि devotee, अब आगे बता रहे हैं कि devotee कैसे बन सकते हैं, because when one become a devotee, he is in the direct relationship of the Lord, and only a devotee can understand Bhagavad Gita.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say that if anyone has chanted even once the name of the Lord, he becomes a devotee of the Lord. So if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra only once, then they become the devotee of the Lord. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
तो आगे प्रभुपाद बता रहे हैं कि किस तरह के 5 तरह के रिलेशनशिप होते हैं भगवान के साथ एज अ डिवोटी.
Correct. So there are various types of rasas or relationships. There are 7 lower rasas, not lower, but and there are 5 main rasas and 7 secondary rasas. So we will first discuss what Prabhupada is saying. There are 5 main rasas. This is a very elaborate subject matter, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of 5 different ways. One may be a devotee in a passive state.
So कोई एक भक्त हो सकते हैं जो कि पैसिव स्टेट में हैं, जैसे कि इसका एग्जांपल ले शांत रस, जिसको शांत रस बोलते हैं हिंदी में. तो जैसे कि इनका एग्जांपल लेते हैं जो भगवान के अराउंड टेबल हैं, चेयर हैं, या फिर मतलब पैरेट हैं, काउस हैं. सो दे ऑल कम्स इन पैसिव स्टेट. सो दे आर सर्विंग द लॉर्ड, दे आर डिवोटी ऑफ द लॉर्ड. So similarly, a person,
one may be a devotee in an active state, which is called dasya ras. Like one can become a servant of the Lord, and they can serve the Lord in a mood of a servant.
Yes.
One can be a devotee as a friend, like isko hum bolte hain sakhya ras. Like those who are with the Lord as a friend. Like Arjun is in a sakhya ras, and he is acting as a friend of the Lord. And one may be a devotee as a parent. For example, Yashoda Maya
is serving the Lord as a parent.
Nand Baba. So they are all devotees in as a parent. Jisko hum bolte hain Vatsalya ras. And one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover, like Srimati Radha. Arjun was in a relationship with the Lord as a friend. Of course, there is a gulf of difference between this friendship and the friendship found in the material world. This is transcendental friendship which cannot be had by everyone. Of course, everyone has a particular relationship with the Lord, and that relationship is evoked by the perfection of devotional service. See, we are living entities, and Lord is, and we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. For example, and we have the same qualities as the Lord also has. But we have those qualities in a very minute form, in very infinitesimal minute form, and Lord has all those qualities in full, in all the supreme quality, in all the supreme. For example, let's suppose you take gold, right? a particle of gold is also gold, and a gold bar is also gold. But a gold bar and particle of gold could be, or an atom of gold cannot be compared, but they both constitute the same property, and it is like the gold particle is a part and parcel of the gold bar, but the gold particle is not equal to gold bar. So in that way, this is the relationship. Like for example, we can take another example, like जो समुद्र का पानी होता है, the ocean water is salty. So if we take a drop of ocean water, that is also salty, but a drop of ocean water cannot be compared to the whole ocean, like that. So this is the drop of ocean water is the living entity, which are us, and the ocean is Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes, so
And-
we are same in quality, but we are not same in quantity.
And this is the relationship, that we are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the relationship is based on devotional service. That we, like, if we are part and parcel, then what is the use of our existence? What is the need of our existence? The need is that we are supposed to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like for example, I have this finger, right? This finger is part and parcel of my body. This finger has some
Goal or some cause of existence.
That it is supposed to serve my body, that I use this finger to eat, I use this finger for many other things, right? But this finger does not has its existence alone.
Its own existence. कि अगर हम सिर्फ finger ले तो उसका खुद का कोई use नहीं है.
If I cut this finger and
yes,
place it, put it away, put it aside,
no use of this finger.
right? So it will be waste, right? And in that way, the finger is also suffering, and the body is also suffering.
Yes.
So in that way, and so we are like this finger, and we are supposed to be connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is called yog.
Yes.
योग का जो dictionary meaning है, that is also means union or connection. And
ऐसे ही जैसे हम भी पार्ट एंड पार्सल है भगवान के, तो अगर हम भगवान से अलग हो जाते हैं तो हमारा खुद का कोई एग्जिस्टेंस नहीं रहता. लाइक देयर इज नो यूज ऑफ आवर एग्जिस्टेंस. एंड सिमिलरली कृष्णा आल्सो वांट अस टू कम बैक टू हिम. सो अगर हम भगवान की तरफ एक कदम बढ़ाते हैं, भगवान हमारी तरफ 10 कदम बढ़ाते हैं हमें अपनी तरफ लेने के लिए. So
and why I am discussing this is that, like Prabhupada here is writing, that this relationship is evoked by the perfection of devotional service. So this is the key, that devotional service, when we start doing devotional service, then we also understand that who we are, who are all these living entities, who is God, and what is our relationship with God.
Yes, so भक्ति के मार्ग से इस relationship और ज़्यादा better हो जाता है और it gets evoked by devotional service.
Correct. And this starts when we take the shelter of the holy name of the Lord, and when we start chanting, and when we chant and we follow the 4 regulative principles, and then when we read Prabhupada books, we read Bhagavad-Gita, we come to these sessions and we do the shravan of these sessions, and this whole thing is evoking us to come to the real platform, which is the platform of devotional service, and evoke our real constitutional position in relationship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes. But in the present status of our life, not only we have forgotten the Supreme Lord, but we have forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord. Every living being out of many billions and trillions of living beings has a particular relationship with the Lord eternally. That is called Swaroop. तो प्रभुपाद बताते हैं कि हर एक पर्सनालिटी का एक स्वरूप है which is having a relationship with the Lord. So हर एक का भगवान के साथ एक अटूट रिश्ता है, अटूट रिलेशनशिप ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करता है. बट क्योंकि हमारी जो सोल है वो कंडीशन है, वी आर इन द कंडीशनिंग फॉर्म, वी हैव नॉट ओनली फॉरगॉट आवर रिलेशनशिप, we have not only forgot भगवान, but we have also forgot our relationship. कि हम भगवान को भी भूल गए हैं और भगवान के साथ हमारा जो संबंध है, हमारा जो स्वरूप है, उसको भी भूल गए हैं. The process of by the process of devotional service, one can revive that swarup, and that stage is called Swarup Siddhi, perfection of one's constitutional position.
So Arjun was a devotee and he was in touch with the Supreme Lord in friendship. How Arjun accepted this Bhagavad Gita should be noted. His manner of acceptance is given in 10th chapter. तो जैसे हमने like we read earlier कि the the spirit of Bhagavad Gita should be understood and should be acknowledged by the same way Arjun had done, right? And those who are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita should understand in a spirit of Arjun only, right? The way Arjun understood. And because Krishna told that to Arjun and Arjun accepted it, so in the same manner we also have to accept it the way Arjun did. अब यहाँ पे Prabhupada, what Prabhupada is going to do, Prabhupada is quoting from 10th chapter, what is Arjun's reaction when Lord told him that he is who he is, and what let us see what is Arjun's reaction. Arjun uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adi devam ajam vibhum ahustvam rasaya sarve deva shir naradas tatha asito devalo vyasah swayam chaiva brivisi me sarvametadritam manne yanmad Vadasi Keshava Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devana Danava. So Abhi Prabhupada kya kar rahe hain? That Prabhupada is giving the whole thing in a gist. That is why it is also called as Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. So if we understand introduction, so we can get lot of key points that which are there in Bhagavad Gita from various other chapters and combined together to give a message to and to make this kind of sense. But we can also elaborate this on whole these things, but I don't want to go in that way or in that manner that I add things like I add too many things from my own. So that is why I'm sticking to what Prabhupada is saying. So let us see what Prabhupada writes here. Arjun said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narad, Asit, Deval, and Vyas confirms this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality." So here what Arjun is saying, that I accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And not only I, because there may be some speculation that because I am your friend and जैसे हम कह नहीं सकते कि किसी किसी की सिफारिश लगा दी कि if somebody is known and I am telling it to them that please do this and they are doing it, or please listen to me, then they are listening because they are a friend. So others may speculate, oh, Lord Krishna told to Arjun, so what is that thing, what is so unique in that? Arjun would definitely would have listened because he is very submissive to him and he is a friend, and that is pakshpat, or what we can say is favoritism. So in that way Arjun is not only saying that I accept, but he's also quoting the other acharyas as well, and
accepted
who has accepted that all other sages such as Narad also, Asit, Deval, and Vyasdev confirms this truth about you. Not only I am not saying this. And so Arjun is establishing this for us, all of us, that we don't put a question that Krishna only told to Arjun and Arjun will accept. Of course, Arjun will accept it because he's a friend and he's favorable and he's favorite. So in that manner. And here, like in the last line, he's saying, Arjun says that
nor the demons, oh Lord, can understand you
your personality. So we can see this from various examples from Shastras, like there is a Brahma Vimohan Leela which comes in Lord Krishna's pastime, that once when Lord Krishna was in his childhood and he was enjoying with his friends, and Lord Brahma comes to we are talking of Lord Brahma right now, who is the creator of this material world, who has this responsibility, and he is the highest person in the material world, who is highly we can say qualified to understand, and so much intelligence is there. So now we're talking of Lord Brahma. So he comes to this to earth, and he sees that, oh, who is this foolish boy, and he claims himself to be Krishna, and I will teach him a lesson. And what Brahmaji does is that uh, all the all the friends who are playing with Krishna, he takes away all the friends, and then he vanishes.
And all the cows as well, जितने भी गायें और जितने उनके गवाले दोस्त होते हैं, जितने फ्रेंड्स होते हैं, वो सबको ब्रह्मा जी ले जाते हैं,
and not understanding that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So the point that I want to make is that even the highest personality in the material world can get illusioned in understanding the supreme personality of Godhead. So and तो अब आगे
ब्रह्मा जी को लगता है कि ये तो भगवान है, ये एकदम छोटे बालक की तरह कैसे खेल सकते हैं, ये तो इनका जूठा भी खा रहे हैं. तो वो अपने सखा के साथ बैठ के जहाँ पे वो शाम को खेलने जाते थे, तो वहां पे उनके प्लेट से खुद से खा रहे थे भगवान. तो ब्रह्मा जी को इल्यूजन हो जाता है कि भगवान ऐसे मतलब इतने बड़े भगवान होके वो किसी का जूठा कैसे खा सकते हैं.
उनके साथ वो हंस खेल रहे हैं, और ये सब कुछ क्या हो रहा है ये सब लीला में ना. So they become illusioned. He becomes illusioned, and then he comes and then he says, okay, Krishna, you say yourself to be Krishna. Let me teach you a lesson. Yes. And then he takes all his friends who are playing, and then all the friends and cows and all the others who are playing with him, and then he vanishes. But Krishna, he is a supreme personality of Godhead. Even in his childhood, the supreme personality of Godhead remains the supreme personality of Godhead. That is this Leela, and that is his pastime that he is performing. But God never forgets he's God.
तो भगवान क्या करते हैं, जितने भी उनके सखा होते हैं और जितने भी काउज होती हैं, अपने आप को एक्सपैंड करते हैं और सिमिलर काउज में और सखास में एक्सपैंड करते हैं. तो क्योंकि ब्रह्मा जी के वहां पे तो ड्यूरेशन ऑफ डे इज वेरी लॉन्ग एज कंपेयर टू जो अर्थ पे है, तो उनका जब 1 सेकेंड होता है तो उतनी देर में हमारा 1 साल हो चुका होता है. तो ब्रह्मा जी 1 सेकेंड बाद वापस आते हैं, उनको याद आता है कि नहीं, मैं तो नीचे से लेके आया हूँ, मुझे वापस उनको रख के आना चाहिए. तो जैसे वो वापस आते हैं, वो देखते हैं कि भगवान 1 साल बाद उसी जगह पे दोबारा से खेल रहे हैं, सब उन्हीं फ्रेंड्स के साथ. तो वो आके देखते हैं
तो
कि
जो उनको वो लेके गए थे, जिनको ब्रह्मा जी अपने साथ लेके गए थे, वो 1 सेकंड में वापस आ जाते हैं. बट बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइम डिफरेंस एंड
तो वो 1 सेकंड यहाँ पे पूरे 1 साल बीत गया होता है, और किसी के घर पे नहीं पता लगता है कि ये उनके
ओरिजिनल नहीं है. एंड दीज आर ऑल फॉर्म्स ऑफ कृष्णा ओनली. सो कृष्णा अपने आप को डुप्लीकेट करके, and the other members, the boys, the cowherd boys and the cows and other things, so Krishna वो वैसे बन जाते हैं. And then when Lord Brahma comes, what Brahma sees, like, so our universe is Brahma is 3-headed, but there are many universes, and there are many other Brahmas as well. And the number of dimensions in a universe and the same number of heads a Brahma has. Like our universe has 3 dimensions, so our Brahma has 4 heads. There are 4 dimensions.
There are 4 dimensions of our universe. तो जितनी भी dimensions होती हैं जिस universe की, ब्रह्मा जी के उतने ही सिर होते हैं.
So when Lord Brahma comes,
जिनका 1 सिर है, 2 सिर है, 3 है, 10 तक भी है. तो जितने भी dimensions होती हैं universe की, because there are as many pores in the मतलब हर श्वास में भगवान एक यूनिवर्स क्रिएट करते हैं अपने बॉडी की फोर्स से. तो बहुत सारे अनलिमिटेड यूनिवर्स हैं. तो so depending upon the dimension, उतने ब्रह्मा जी टाइप ब्रह्मा जी रहते हैं.
Yeah, so when Lord Brahma comes, he sees a very magnificent scene, that when he is coming, not only he is there, but there are many other Brahmas who are coming and who are paying obeisances. And these Brahmas are not 3-headed or 4-headed. These are million-headed Brahmas, 1,000-headed, 100-headed, and million-headed Brahmas who are paying obeisances to this small boy who is a blackish blue in color and who is playing with his cowherd boys, and he sees that, oh, he is my Lord. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he is then completely bewildered, oh, what I have done. And then he starts crying, and then he asks for forgiveness, and then Lord Krishna, he forgives.
started prayers also. भगवान
Yes.
को prayers भी करते हैं.
There is Brahma Stuti as well.
Brahma Stuti, which
Correct.
is very
And this is one of the pastime where we can see that it is even difficult for the demigods. And what to say of demigods? The highest demigod, Lord Brahma, he is also bewildered and difficult to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But a devotee can understand in a spirit of devotion. That is why this whole pastime we narrated, to make this point that in devotional spirit only, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood.
Yes.
Not
pastime
by
is Govardhan Leela as well, जिसमें
Correct,
भगवान
correct.
इंद्र भी नहीं समझ पाते हैं कि वो श्री भगवान खुद है.
Correct. So Indra, because if we are talking of God, and let's suppose there is a CEO, and the CEO has all the supreme powers of a MNC, of any company, and there is a HR head, or there is an engineering head who fails in recognizing who is the CEO or who is the founder of this company, and then he says, oh, he is claiming himself to be the CEO and the founder, let me give him a lesson. And he says that he can do this, he can do that, and I have these many powers, I can switch off the whole engineering department and do this and do that, let me do this. In a similar manner, when Lord Krishna was in his childhood only, and jab Govardhan Leela aati hai, where all the
Vrindavan
Vasis, they gather together and to worship the Govardhan Parvat, who is none other than Lord Krishna himself. तो वो जब वो worship करते हैं, और भगवान यहाँ पे अपने फादर को, नंद बाबा को बताते हैं कि आप ये जो वर्शिप कर रहे हो इंद्र भगवान की, ये आप क्यों कर रहे हो. वहां पे वो दूसरी फिलोसफी बताते हैं, उसके अंदर नहीं जा रहे, बट वहां पे वो कहते हैं कि आपको इसकी वर्शिप करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप बस गोवर्धन पूजा करिए, और जो इंद्र देवता हैं उनकी तो वो ड्यूटी है, आप अपना काम कर रहे हैं, और उनकी वो ड्यूटी है कि ही इज सपोज्ड टू सप्लाई द रेन. इंद्र गेट्स ऑफेंडेड कि यहाँ पे ये छोटा सा बालक है, ये कह रहा है कि मेरी पूजा नहीं करनी है और मेरी वर्शिप नहीं करनी है, एंड he is bewildered.
भगवान उनको तर्क देते हैं कि गोवर्धन पर्वत आपकी गैयों को जगह देते हैं, उनके लिए चारा देते हैं, आपको फ्रूट्स देते हैं, अनाज देते हैं, तो आपको गोवर्धन पर्वत की पूजा करिए, आप इंद्र देवता की पूजा मत करिए. तो ये भगवान की सारी लीलाएं हैं जिसमें वो भगवान बहुत रीजन की वजह से ये लीलाएं करते हैं, भक्तों का प्यार बढ़ाने के लिए भी ये ऐसी लीला करते हैं. करेक्ट.
तो उसके बाद क्या होता है कि फिर वो कहते हैं कि ठीक है बच्चों, मैं तुमको समझाता हूँ, आई विल टीच यू अ लेसन. एंड सो वो अपने जो खूंखार उनके जो वो क्लाउड्स होते हैं, साइक्लोन्स होते हैं, वो उनको इंद्र भगवान भेजते हैं ताकि जो ये एरिया है, वृंदावन एरिया और जो गोवर्धन एरिया है, वहां पे जाके there would be a storm, and then these village people, so-called village people, they would be forced to worship me and not listen to this balak or this cowherd boy who is acting himself as Krishna. And so that means Indra is in illusion right now. He is bewildered, and फिर उसके बाद भगवान क्या करते हैं, वो क्योंकि he is the supreme personality of Godhead, the Lord actually in 10th chapter, the last of 10th chapter says that Arjun, what will you get in understanding all my all the things that I have, all the things that I do, merely by a feather of my energy, I support these universes. Mainly by a thread of my energy, I support all these universes. And then what to say of these small things? तो ये हैं भगवान, and this is what the supreme personality of Godhead is. And फिर वो क्या करते हैं, फिर वो गोवर्धन पर्वत को उठाते हैं और सारे
ये वाली फिंगर पे,
हाँ, this small finger, उस पे वो उठाते हैं, 7 दिन 7 रात तक ऐसे ही खड़े रहते हैं बिना किसी पानी के, बिना सब चीजों के. और
इवन के सारे जितने भी उनके अराउंड डिवोटीज होते हैं, उनके सारे गांववासी भी होते हैं, किसी को भूख प्यास कुछ नहीं लगती है, वो भगवान के दर्शन में इतना खोए रहते हैं कि ना तो किसी को प्यास लगती है, ना किसी को भूख लगती है. तो वो सब भी लाठियां लेके ऐसे भगवान के साथ खड़े रहते हैं और उनको सपोर्ट देते हैं अपनी तरफ से तो वो एक बार भगवान को बोलते हैं कि भगवान हमने उठाया हुआ है अपनी लाठियों पे, आप अपना हाथ नीचे करके थोड़ा रेस्ट कर लीजिए.
Yeah. So Indra is then, because Indra is bewildered, that is why he is doing all this thing. So again, the point is that Indra is the chief of all the demigods, and he himself cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to say of us? Like, we carry no qualification in understanding. Like, somebody may say, "Oh, you say he is God. Why don't you show him?" So then Prabhupada would say that, what qualification do we carry? What qualification do you carry to see God? And God himself is merciful, that he has come in the form of his names, he has come in the form of his archvigraha to, at our level, to understand that who he is. Otherwise, what knowledge or what brains do we have to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead? It is not possible on our own. That is why we have to understand this Bhagavad-Gita as it is, in the spirit, the way it has been told. Because if we do our own speculation, and if we try to understand it from our own, we cannot even understand simple law and become a lawyer, or simple medicine books to become a doctor. What to say of these spiritual knowledge? Because this is Raj Vidya Raj Guyam. This is the highest of all knowledges. So, and this is this was the point that I wanted to make, that only in the spirit of devotion, and only in the spirit of as it is formed, that the way Arjun understood, we have to take the spirit of Bhagavad Gita and take to this process of Krishna consciousness, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates have given us to follow, and which is so simple and sublime that it changes our lives. And it starts by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We read these books and we associate with devotees. We come to these sessions, and if we have any questions, we ask the devotees that this is something that I'm not able to understand. This is the point that you made. Can you please make me a little more clearer? And I'm inquisitive to know about this, and or this is happening in my life. Why is this happening? Is this some kind of message that Lord wants to give me, or what exactly is the purpose of my life?
So faith does not mean we have to keep blind faith. We have to ask questions. We have to we should even ask questions कि हमें अगर किसी चीज में doubt है, we can ask, so that it can become more clear to us. Not in a way कि हमको blaspheme करना है किसी को, या फिर हमको इस तरह से पूछना है कि मतलब कि नहीं ये तो गलत है, ऐसा है, ऐसा क्यों है. But we can always ask questions to understand it more, so that our view become more clearer.
So this was the point that we wanted to make, and it is already 5:55, and we wanted to have some time for any questions, answers, or any comments, that if there are any. So we will end our session here, and if there are any questions or if there are any comments, then you're most welcome to ask. And also I forgot that I wanted to welcome Shailesh Prabhu and Kartikan Prabhu. Shailesh Prabhu has also joined us today. Hare Krishna, Shailesh Prabhu.
Hello, Ronnie Prabhuji.
How are you, Prabhuji?
Hello, Shivani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Bhakti. How are you?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining. And we also wanted to welcome Kartikan Prabhu. So Kartikan Prabhu has joined us from Singapore. And Prabhuji messaged me last week that do we have any sessions on Bhagavad Gita? So I thought, let me invite him to these sessions. And so most welcome, Kartikan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining the session. I hope that we are able to communicate it well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. And so do we have any questions from anybody, or any comments from anybody for today's session?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. Yes.
थोड़ा एक क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहिए.
Yes, प्रभु जी.
आपने जैसे बताया कि अर्जुन भगवान का दोस्त भी थे और डिवोटी थे। तो मेन क्वालिटी क्या है, मतलब भगवत गीता उनके पास, मतलब उनको सुनने मिला, उसका उनका मेन क्वालिटी तो डिवोशनल सर्विस है ना, डिवोटी होना है ना,
ऐसे नहीं कह
different.
सकते प्रभु जी की मेन क्वालिटी, बोथ आर मेन थिंग ओनली, बिकॉज द कॉमन थिंग इन ऑल द रिलेशनशिप्स इज बीइंग ऑफ अ सर्वेंट. Of all the rasas, like we discussed, like dasya ras, and there is sakhya ras, and then vatsalya ras, and there is madhurya ras. Of all the rasas, the common relationship is of a servant. Servant,
Servant.
yeah, and servant means devotional service.
तो
All
ये
are
तो
doing,
अर्जुन,
all are doing devotional service, and because in a relationship between two persons, if there are friends, there cannot be, Prabhuji, education flowing. Like there has to be one person who is above and one person low and submissive, so that they can get the teachings.
Yes, तो
Like for
जैसे ही
example,
भगवान स्टार्ट करते हैं भगवत गीता, उससे पहले अर्जुन का एक श्लोक आता है जिसमें वो बताते हैं कि now you become
my spiritual
guru,
master,
my spiritual
and I
master.
surrender unto you. Karpanya dosho pahat swabhava prichhami tam dharma sammudha cheta yashrayan nishchitam ruhitam me shishyaste ham sadhiman tam prapannam. Shishyaste ham, that I become your shishya, and you are my spiritual master, because till now I have been discussing with you as a friend, but a talk between two friends cannot be serious. A serious talk can be between a spiritual master and a disciple. So Arjun, there is a change in relationship of Arjun when this in second chapter, when Arjun says that, oh, mere haathon se gandeev छूटा जा रहा है, and my limbs are
surrender.
shivering, right, and I'm overflowing with this emotion of killing my own kinsmen. How can I do that? Now, oh Krishna, I surrender unto you. Now you please guide me. What is the way? So in this, because Arjun surrendered, so this is the main quality. Surrender is the main quality. And still
Surrender.
Arjun maintained that thing of a relationship of a friend also, and because Krishna is acknowledging that thing as Arjun as a friend, that is Krishna's quality actually.
Yes. And here Krishna is also stating that how is the devotee of Krishna. जैसे कि हमने पढ़ा है कि एक डिवोटी 5 तरह के रिलेशनशिप, 5 तरह के रसास में डिवोटी हो सकते हैं. तो we can be a devotee in dasya ras, one can be a devotee in sakhya ras, vatsalya ras and madhurya ras. तो एंड शांत रस एज वेल. तो 5 तरह के रसा में डिवोटी हो सकता है. तो कभी भी एक भक्त होगा, उनका एक रिलेशनशिप इन 5 में से होगा ही होगा.
तो मेरा, हम इस कंक्लूजन पे आ सकते हैं क्या, जैसे अभी आपने ब्रह्मा जी का एग्जांपल दिया, इंद्र का एग्जांपल दिया, क्या वो मतलब भगवान के डिवोटीज नहीं थे, ऐसे आ सकता है क्या मीनिंग?
So हम इस कंक्लूजन पे आ सकते हैं that devotees and demigods, they cannot be compared. Devotee or the pure devotee can be even higher than the demigod.
Yes, and इसमें अगर हम इसको ऐसे भी समझ सकते हैं, प्रभुपाद ये भी बताते हैं कि इस सब से हमको डेमिगॉड्स को जज नहीं करना है, बिकॉज दिस इज एवरीथिंग अरेंज्ड बाय कृष्णा हिमसेल्फ, कि वो भगवान खुद लीला करने के लिए सबको बता रहे हैं. अब जैसे कि अगर हम देखें तो जो डीमंस बनते हैं, दे आर आल्सो डिवोटी. तो भगवान की लीला में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए खुद से भगवान किसी को कमांड करते हैं कि हाँ, आप मेरी इस लीला में मेरे ऑपोजिट होगे. तो so in that case we can understand that everything is an arrangement of Krishna himself to teach us, to make us learn that how we can progress.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
So in that manner, Prabhuji, we can understand that when because the talk between two friends can only be friendly talk, right? If I'm a friend to you, I say something to you, you may or may not take it very seriously because you are a friend. Friend are on equal level, and on equal level you cannot be a teacher or you cannot be a spiritual master. Although
फ्लो के लिए गुरु और शिष्य के 2 पॉइंट जरूरी हैं.
Yes. So although sometimes like we can have we can have that relationship of a friendship like Arjun is also having, but that is very high level, or that is very high platform. We cannot imitate it, or we cannot understand it so easily. I can say because I also don't understand in that expert level. But this is the gist that I wanted you to understand or convey. So thank you for the question.
Thank you, Mataji.
And
The
Thank you
question
so much.
from Monikji is
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. I want to know if Arjun was a devotee of the Lord. As a friend, did not he know that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God?
Yes. So your question is very good, and this question comes very often, that you say that Arjun is a friend and Arjun is a devotee. So then a devotee or a friend right now has forgotten that who is Lord Krishna, and why is there was a need of Arjun to do this? Didn't he know all this knowledge? Didn't he know that there were souls? Of course, Arjun knew. Of course, Arjun knew all this Bhagavad-Gita and everything, but he was put deliberately into this situation so that Bhagavad Gita could be
Can
spoken.
be spoken, because Krishna himself stating that this gyan, this transcendental knowledge is lost and this need to be re-established.
Correct.
So अगर अर्जुन क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछेंगे, अर्जुन अपने bewilderment नहीं दिखाएंगे, तो वो भगवत गीता को उपदेश दोबारा से नहीं दिया जा सकता.
Actually,
तो भगवान खुद से ये अरेंजमेंट करते हैं by
And-
putting him into bewilderment.
So Arjun is bewildered and he is put into this position, and where he is questioning, oh, I don't want to kill, and I don't want to follow the Kshatriya dharma and all other things. And so like that, because if Arjun will not do so, then how the Bhagavad Gita would be spoken?
Yes.
So in that manner, Arjun is taking this as a service of, and also Arjun is taking the stance of a common man. He, like, we will
He's
in
asking
due
question
course.
on our behalf so that we can understand it very well.
Correct.
क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसे बीच में हैं श्लोकास जिसमें like it is obvious for a devotee to understand.
Correct.
That devotee don't need to make a question for that thing. But
Yeah.
उन्होंने एक-एक चीज के लिए question किया so that we can understand it more clearer.
Like, for example, he is asking questions on behalf of all of us, on
All of
behalf of
us.
the common man who don't know this, so that the whole world gets the opportunity to listen to the Lord, to listen to this sublime knowledge, the supreme knowledge. And that is why Arjun is taking this humble position, and the whole Bhagavad Gita is then spoken. And this is very beautiful thing, that the whole
And this is arrangement by Krishna himself.
Correct.
जैसे कि अगर हम देखें तो अगर हम यशोदा मैया का देखें, she is also a devotee, but she is put into that role by Krishna himself so that he can enjoy that vatsalya ras. क्योंकि अगर किसी को याद होगा कि वो भगवान है, या फिर किसी को स्मरण रहेगा कि वो भगवान है, तो वो
फिर क्वेश्चन ही नहीं
भगवान
आएंगे.
को अपने बच्चे की तरह नहीं पाल सकते, या फिर उनके मन में ऐसा रहेगा कि हाँ नहीं तो वो तो भगवान है, उनको बुरा लग जाएगा, या फिर उनको डांट नहीं सकते, या फिर उनको झिड़क नहीं लगा सकते, बट
या फिर उनके पीछे लाठी
लेके नहीं भाग सकते. तो ऐसे ही भगवान अपने भक्तों को क्योंकि उस स्पेसिफिक रोल में उस लीला करनी है भगवान को, तो वो खुद से अरेंजमेंट करते हैं.
But at our level, we can understand in this manner that Arjun was put into bewilderment by the arrangement of the Yog Maya of Lord Krishna, and that is why Bhagavad Gita had to be spoken, and a parampara had to be established, because Bhagwan बताते हैं 4th chapter में that because this is lost and I have to establish this Gyan again, this Bhagavad Gita again. So that is why I am making you my disciple. So in that manner, we can understand.
Is it clear?
Sorry, Prabhu. I hope this is okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Wonderfully. I mean, my doubt is clear now.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So thank you for the questions. Do we have any more questions? Otherwise, then we will close the session.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes, Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी, जैसे अभी आपने सेशन में बताया प्रभु जी दैट वी आर पार्ट एंड पार्सल्स ऑफ कृष्णा, उसके लिए आपने एक एग्जांपल दिया था दैट ऐसा समझ सकते हैं कि कृष्णा एक बॉडी है और हम उनके जैसे एक फिंगर्स हैं और हम उनसे अभी अलग हो गए, कट के, इस कारण हम सफर कर रहे हैं. तो प्रभु जी, क्या भगवान को भी इससे कुछ पेन फील होता है जैसे हम उनसे अलग हो गए, जैसे हम बॉडी से उनके अगर कट के अलग हो गए तो?
Krishna is Atmaram. He doesn't need our our service, or he doesn't need us, but because he is so much merciful, he gives us the chance to serve him. Otherwise he doesn't require our service.
And because also he loves all of us.
Yes,
जैसे
love is
कि
also.
एक पेरेंट अपने बच्चे को प्यार करता है और बच्चा अगर दूर चला जाए तो पेरेंट को होता है अंदर से कि नहीं, मेरा बच्चा मेरे पास होना चाहिए. सो ऐसे ही इज द सुप्रीम फादर. तो
Yes.
क्योंकि वो हमें बहुत प्यार करते हैं, इवन कि हम मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में भी जितना प्यार देखते हैं वो भी उसके बराबर नहीं है. तो इसलिए उनको होता है कि नहीं, मेरा वक्त मेरे पास होना चाहिए.
Yes. And he becomes sad also. Why not? Because he himself says in Bhagavad-Gita 9.22 that whatever the devotees are lacking, I personally carry, and whatever they have, I preserve it personally. What was the shlok? I'm forgetting that shlok, but this is the translation, that whatever the devotees are lacking, I personally carry it for them, and whatever they have it, I preserve. Aham, like in a personal manner. So he personally takes care of his devotees. And इसका एक बहुत अच्छा past time भी आता है, where there was there was a person in the past where he was writing bhashya on Bhagavad-Gita. So let me open that Bhagavad-Gita verse, then we will understand it. 9.22. Yeah, so it is ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupashate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahameham. That those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So there was, I am forgetting the name of the person. So there was a bona fide person in the history, and he was writing the bhashya or the commentary on this verse, that where he's saying that yoga kshemam vahami aham. So वो उनका point ये होता है अहम, कोई बात नहीं. सो उनका पॉइंट ये होता है कि अहम तो भगवान नहीं करते होंगे, व्हाई वुड ही डू दैट पर्सनली. सो वो क्या करते हैं कि इन हिज कमेंट्री he strike the two lines of aham. वो अहम को दो लाइन से ऐसे काट देते हैं, एंड उसके बाद वो लिखते हैं कि through his devotees maybe, or through his demigods and others, so he is maintaining in that manner. तो उसके बाद वो ये देखते हैं कि उन्होंने जो अपना भाष्य लिखा था उसमें वो उन्होंने दो लाइनें ऐसे कट कर दी और स्ट्राइक कर दी, इस वर्ड को स्ट्राइक कर दिया. और शाम को उनके पास उनकी वाइफ के पास एक बच्चा आता है. शाम को उन्होंने दिन में ऐसा किया, शाम को उनकी वाइफ के पास एक बच्चा आता है, और वो बच्चा रोते रोते हुए आता है, और वो उनको कहते हैं कि वो कहाँ पे हैं, जो उनको ढूंढते हुए आता है, और उनको कहते हैं कि वो कहाँ पे हैं जो ये जिन्होंने ये लिखा है भाष्य. और उनकी वाइफ देखती है कि वो तो अभी बाहर गए हैं कुछ काम करने के लिए, और वो कहता है कि वो कंप्लेन करता है कि उन्होंने ना मुझे मारा है पीठ पे, और दो डंडे मारे हैं, और
पीठ पे ऐसे दो लाइंस भी होती हैं,
उनके पीठ पे ऐसी दो लाइंस होती हैं, और उन्होंने मुझे डंडा मारा है ऐसे पीठ पे, और ये देखो. तो उनकी वाइफ कहती है ऐसे तो मेरे हस्बैंड है ही नहीं बिल्कुल भी, और वो तो ऐसा कर ही नहीं सकते. तो वो बच्चा कहता है, ऐसे दिखाती है. तो उनकी वाइफ कहती है तुम अभी यहीं रुको, मैं देख के आती हूँ वो कहाँ पे है. और फिर उनकी वाइफ उनको ढूंढने जाती है. जब तक तो वो दोनों वापस आते हैं तो वो जो बच्चा होता है वो गायब हो जाता है, और वो नहीं उनको वापस मिलता. और वो उनकी वाइफ उनके जो ये व्यक्ति होते हैं इनको सारा ये नरेट करके बताती है स्टोरी कि देखो आपने किसी को मारा है, किसी को दो छड़ी से दो बार मारा है आपने, और उसके पीठ पे दो ऐसे लाइंस भी है, निशान है. और तो वो उनको फिर वो एकदम से दे रियलाइज दैट व्हाट ही हैज डन. And he was writing his bhashya on Bhagavad-Gita. He was a bona fide acharya. He was writing bhashya on Bhagavad-Gita. उन्होंने ये word को strike कर दिया था दो line से. And it was Krishna only who came to tell him that no, I personally come. And उन्होंने दो line से strike किया था. And Krishna had that two lines in his back. And he came to tell that message
क्योंकि उन्होंने अहम वर्ड को 2 बार
strike किया था. So then he preserves that thing with aham only. Yogakshemam vahami aham. So this is the very wonderful pastime which comes, and I'm forgetting the name of the.
प्रभु जयदेव गोस्वामी है?
Jaydev
मैं भी श्योर नहीं हूँ.
I think so, Prabhuji. I'm forgetting. I will confirm the characters. I'm very poor in this memory thing, so I will confirm this characters.
मुझे भी लग रहा है जयदेव गोस्वामी है, उनके केस में ये हुआ था.
Yes, it could be. Yes, Prabhuji. I will confirm and I will tell. So this is one of the pastime which comes, and so this is the way we can understand Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much, everybody,
for asking this
for
wonderful
these
questions.
questions and all. And so we are already 15 minutes past this our time. We should stick to our schedule. So we will end our session here. And if there are any more questions, then we can take it. Like you can personally message me, or you can ask on the group also. I can try to answer it there. So we will end our session here. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vachapati Dhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for attending and joining. So we will end our session here, and we will meet you again next Sunday, same time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.